Welcome Unkindled to Hotgates Gaming for our first Dark Souls the board game campaign run through that we're going to be running as a series, a regular series here on this channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name's James and I am the host of this channel. And for those of you who want to skip ahead this next little bit about how you can support the content going forwards, then I'm only going to be talking for about 30-45 seconds. But I know a bunch of you out there have been incredibly supportive of the various painting videos that we do and coverage of other systems, and I hope more of you are going to get even more behind what we're going to be doing with this particular series going forwards. You can do that by either getting involved in the Hotgates Gaming Patreon, which the links can be found in the video description below. Remember, those guys who are backing that as my board of directors, letting me know the kind of content that they want to see, it is those guys backing the Patreon that allow me to make free content for everybody here on YouTube. And for those of you that don't want to directly back the Patreon and pay per video, which of course you can put a cap on over on the Patreon, you can actually support me if you buy your hobby supplies. You can head over to Element Gamers, which is where we film a lot of the content here. Those guys are huge supporters of Hotgates Gaming and the content that we do, and they offer great discounts on most of their products as well, usually somewhere between 10 and 20%. And you can actually support me by visiting their site by using the link in the video description below for Element Games. That will take you through, and any purchases that you make, you will be giving something back to this channel. So if you're going to buy things anyway, you want to get a great local gaming store discount, then do check out the Element Games link below. There will also be a code there which, if you type in on checkout, will give you double the amount of store credit upon purchase. So that's something a little bit back to you guys for supporting me. Now, there are lots and lots of Dark Souls playthroughs already out there on the internet, and although initially we were going to do a how to play video and we were going to really go through a lot of the rules, I think it's probably best to direct you to the official Steamforge playthrough, which is over on the Steamforge YouTube channel. Again, I'll put some links up now, because that's going to be a really great way of learning how to play the game, as well as seeing some fantastic interaction between players. And as ever here on Hotgates Gaming, we want to do something a little bit different. We're going to try and show off the fantastic models that are in this game, as well as create some theatrical drama in the campaign. And we are going to be playing the campaign rules with two characters which we would like you guys to follow, to mould and to create the stories of in this series. And that is our warrior Yonwolf and our knight Ardstan. Let's introduce you to the player who's going to be playing as Ardstan in this playthrough. And in our Dark Souls the board game campaign playthrough, I'm going to be joined by the one and only Jamie Giblin.
Hello, hello.
Hello, and you're going to be playing the part of Ardstan, our knight in this campaign. How are you feeling about that?
Pretty cool. I've not got to use the knight yet on camera, so I can't wait to sort of lead Ardstan through the dungeon.
Absolutely, and remember, we are going for a very creative element in our quest, in our journey as Ashen Ones on this board. So make sure you wish us the very best of luck and get involved in the comments below and let us how you want to see our characters, Yonwolf and Ardstan, develop going forwards. Here is Yonwolf's starting character board. We've got his starting equipment on there, which is his round shield over on this left hand side. He's also got his battle axe and his northern armour, and our goal over the course of the game is of course to try and progress and get better equipment as we go. We've also got his stat progression bar, which at the start of the game everything is on that base level, and we're going to try and leave it to you guys to try and decide how we build our characters going forward over the course of the series. We've also got on there a full Estus Flask token, which we can use at any point during the game in order to get our health bar up full, which we can get back when we get to the spark reset. We've also got a luck token. The luck token we can spend to give us a single reroll of dice, which we can buy back with the cost of a soul. And then we've also got the heroic action token, which we can do once per spark. For Yonwolf, he gets the berserk charge once per spark. During the activation, the warrior may move one node without spending stamina. The next range 0 attack he makes costs 0 stamina and gains the icon, which allows you to hit multiple models in one node.
Okay, and this is Ardstan the knight. He is starting with his long sword in his left hand, his knight armour and his kite shield, so well equipped to begin chopping up some hollows. You can see there he starts on his base for everything, so 13 strength, 12 dex, 9 intelligence and 9 faith. And his once per spark is that once per spark, after making a block roll, he may add a single blue die, roll it, and add that to the resistance. Now what that doesn't allow him to do is it doesn't allow him to do it for magic attacks, so only physical. And that's kind of important for this guy because he fills up his endurance bar very quickly, and that's down at the bottom, and what those black and red cubes are going to be put into.
And here is our setup for our first journey into Dark Souls. As you can see, we put down the Bonfire tile here. This is the tile that we go back to after each encounter, where we can spend our souls to buy equipment, to also reset our luck tokens, and where we can equip our new equipment as well. That's going to be our starting point. We are actually trying to do something a little bit different for this campaign and actually play through the campaign rules, which can be found on page 32 of the main rulebook. We're going to be encountering our first journey, and that's going to take us along the path to Anor Londo. We're going to be starting off in section 1, the Undead Berg, which gives us a level 1 encounter, another level 1 encounter, level 2 encounter, and then we'll take on the Gargoyle twice to try and retrieve his equipment. Dark Souls is a game that you can play with up to 4 players, and you can even play on your own as a single player. As it's Ardstan and Yonwolf's journey, there are 2 of us, and that means that we keep our spark token here on 4 to start off with, and sparks effectively allow you to reset the game. Each time we die, we'll have to move that spark token down 1, but in the campaign rules we can buy back sparks at the cost of 2 per player, 4 for the group. We also have our treasure deck here on the Bonfire tile, and we've shuffled in our character specific cards into that mix now. It's time for our Unkindled warriors to face their first encounter, and they're going to walk into the room, and this is a level 1 encounter. So we've placed a level 1 card, we're going to flip it over, and it tells us exactly what we're going to be coming up against. So you can see on the tiles there is a node system here, and this is going to be our movement across the game. To move a node, it doesn't cost anything the first time. As you move, you cost extra stamina in order to make those movements. You can also see that we've got different coloured icons on here, which is going to affect our placement of what's on there. So we've got on the sword, the red sword down here, we have got 2
Hollow soldiers.
2 hollow soldiers to come up against. And on the cross sword red icon here, we've got another hollow soldier, so 3 hollow soldiers. We've also, on this purple node here, we have a barrel, and barrels block movement unless you roll dodge into them, at which point they...
Or you can spend 1 additional stamina to break them on your walk.
Fantastic. And we also have a treasure chest, which if we're successful in this encounter,
gives us 2 free treasure flips,
which is very, very exciting. And at this point we have to decide who is going to be going into the room first and attracting the aggro token. Now the aggro token effectively is who the enemy are going to be focused on as they go in. So as you can see, we're going to put that down on Ardstan, and that's because he's a bit of a tank.
He's a bit of a tank, yeah.
He's our knight, he's our tank, whilst at the same time we want to try and get the warrior doing a bit of moving around and killing.
Choppy.
Yonwolf is going to join Ardstan on that tile there. In Dark Souls, our enemies move first, and our enemies are the Hollow Soldier, and the movement of the Hollow Soldier is represented on this card here. And we can choose which activations we do this in.
Yes,
order.
So let's start off with this guy here. He's going to move forwards 1 towards the nearest enemy model, so that's both of us currently. Myself because I have the aggro. He then tries to make an attack at range 0, which is nobody because it has to be on the node with him, for 4 damage, so no damage done. And these guys do the same, boxing us in, but making no damage. Now since this is our first encounter, we can choose who goes first, and this will set turn order from this point onwards. It's just going to pass around between the 2 characters, and whoever kills the room or clears the room will end up not being first in the next one.
And we've decided that Yonwolf is going to be activating first, and he's going to move into this node for free, move 1 node for free, and he's going to be doing his special attack with his battle axe, where he can spend 2 stamina, and he spends that 2 stamina to make an attack of 2 black dice, but this means that he can hit everything in the same node, so it makes sense for Yonwolf to jump in and try and take care of both of these hollow soldiers. So we're going to roll. Now the black dice are the least effective dice probably in the game. They have blanks, they give you an opportunity to miss, but you can get 2 on each. So let's have a look here. How much damage will he do?
Looking for 2. Yeah, we are.
And we get 2 there. We get 2. Now this is important because when we look at the Hollow Soldier card here, you can see that the Hollow Soldier has 1 health, but they also have 1 armor, which is automatic. So one of those will be taken off, 1 gets through, and because it was my special attack, that means that both of these guys are going to die. Great work, Yonwolf. And as you can see, that special attack's there on my battle axe. It costs 2 stamina, so I'm going to put 2 of these black blocks in this end of the chart. Now of course you die in Dark Souls the board game when the stamina bar meets the damage bar, which is the red. So now it's going to be the turn of the Hollow Soldier again, because it's player activation, enemies activation. All the enemies will activate before it goes back to the player. So the Hollow Soldier at this point, you can see it will move 1 towards the nearest. That symbol means nearest, and we do have another symbol which will show you another point, which means it's to do with the aggro token. So Hollow Soldier, the nearest is Ardstan. So he's going to run in on Ardstan, so can Ardstan tank him? And he takes a swing and automatically does 4 damage, which of course you can try and block.
Yeah, so I'm going to put my shield up, I'm going to add all my physical resistance dice together, gives me a blue and a black, I roll, I stop 3 damage and I take 1, so 1 red cube goes onto my endurance bar.
Now it's Ardstan's turn to activate. Can he get rid of this last warrior in the encounter?
Alright, so Ardstan's up next, he's going to spend 4 stamina to make his heavy attack with a longsword, doesn't need to move because the monsters come to him, gets a blue and a black dice, gives them a roll, and he slices him in 2.
Absolutely smashes him. And that means that Yonwolf and Ardstan have not just survived their first encounter, but they have smashed their first encounter. Now there was a chest in there, so that does mean that we're going to get some extra treasure when we go back to the bonfire tile, but it also means that we earn ourselves some souls which we can spend.
Yeah, so we've cleared the room, so we get 2 souls per player per encounter, so we've got 4 souls in our soul cache for now, and we can choose to spend them on leveling up or getting treasure flips.
So now that it's the end of the encounter, we clear all of our conditions. So we're going to remove those stamina that was spent. Well worth spending the stamina for those extra attacks, because we really smashed those Hollow Soldiers, and that means we can move back to the bonfire tile. So we're back in the bonfire tile and we have uncovered some treasure. Now, in this campaign, we really want you guys out there to get involved in the comments below and let us know how we're going to build our Yonwolf and Ardstan characters over the course of this campaign. So we want to hear from you which treasure we should be aiming to equip to our various warriors and knights, and also how we should level up in order to get that equipment.
Alright, so going into treasure flips, the first thing we've pulled is the East-West shield. Now this is a pretty high intelligence requirement for the shield. You need 28 intelligence. It gives you 1 black on physical resist, 1 blue on magical, so it's really good for those mid-game magical enemies, especially as we are playing the campaign. We know we're going to be fighting Ardstan and Smaug, who have some pretty magical attacks. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. So when we look at the equipment cards, we need to see which one of us would be anywhere near close to getting that. And now I know that's a tier 3 requirement on my intelligence. And the same for myself. Now, when you are looking at building up your stats, progressions, there's a cost to that in souls. So looking at the knight's stats here, we see on his base strength, for example, he starts at 13. And if I spend 2 souls, I can move up to tier 2 in strength, which gets me to 21. I can spend 4 souls to progress that further to tier 2, which makes me to strength 30. And if I spend 8 souls, I can get to tier 3, which gets me to 40 strength. Now currently in the game, 40 is the top cap, so 40 is the maximum, and you can see there the knight really excels in strength and dexterity and lacks a little bit in intelligence and faith. As the 2 characters will be progressing through the game, they can spend their souls to upgrade these tiers as they see fit. And that's what we want you guys at home to do. Let us know in the comments when you think we should be doing this. And our next treasure flip that we got from the treasure chest is the Force spell. So this is a spell. It takes up one of your hands, so it's effectively a weapon. And on it there, you've got requirements in, I assume, intelligence. It is intelligence. Yep. And this the symbol on there is a push symbol, which is that shield with the arrows coming off it. So that means that we can push enemies around on the map. Now, not particularly great for either of us at the moment, but something that if we are working towards the East-West shield anyway, we'd be able to equip that en route. Absolutely, because this is something which both of us would only need to upgrade our intelligence by 1, right, to get to 12. So definitely something to think about. If this is a card that you would like to see equipped on either Ardstan or on Yonwolf, do let us know. And the next flip, let's have a look. We've got our 2. Now we need to start thinking if we want to spend our souls to do this. So should we spend 1 to flip? Absolutely. Alright, so we spend 1. Flip it. A Titanite shard. So this can just be equipped onto a weapon that has a 1 in this symbol here. That means the attachments that you can put on a weapon. Now when attachments go onto weapons, they are permanent, so you can't take stones off or shards off. But this shard gives us +1 to the damage roll. And what you'll notice is that on our starting equipment, neither of us are able to do that on the starting equipment, so we are going to have to get new weapons if we want to be able to get that +1 damage. Let's put that to one side because they are handy to keep separate. We'll spend another soul for another treasure flip, and we have a short sword. A short sword's a pretty decent weapon. For free it gets 2 black dice, or for cost 2 it gets 3 black dice, and has a slot for shards. It does have some pretty high requirements. You need 15 strength and 23, is it? Dexterity?
Yep, 23 dexterity, which means that would require 2 lots of upgrades to the warrior's dexterity there. So that in total would be 6 souls nods to get that. And when you look at it, I'd actually prefer the battle axe, although we do have that titanite shard, remember, so we could increase the damage by 1 each time onto a weapon like that. Again, is this a weapon that you'd like to see on either Ardstan or Yonwolf? Do let us know. And I think we're going to continue just spending
souls to flip treasure for now, get some sort of direction.
Yep, absolutely.
Next up is the Claymore. So this is a big boy weapon. Real endgame gear. You got some orange, got some natural +1s. It's a 2-handed weapon. Yeah, this is awesome, but for the end game.
This is for the end game, and definitely something for one of us to aim for.
For either of us, this really.
So this is a tier 2 strength for me, and a tier 2 strength for you as well. Yeah. So it could fit either of us in that regard. And from a dexterity point of view, it is a tier 3 dexterity for me, and it is a tier 2 dexterity for you. So definitely one for the knight perhaps.
Yep.
And something maybe we could work towards going forwards.
So if it's something for me to work towards, what I shall do is I'll put it next to my player board so I remember it as we clear rooms. And we've got one last soul to spend, so we'll spend it on another one, and we've got another titanite shard, so 1 each. It's pretty good.
So I think that the Claymore is definitely something that we should work towards building for yourself. Nothing really there for Yonwolf, so it's time for us to go into our next encounter. It's another level 1 encounter. What have we got?
We are fighting. Oh, it's a nasty one. So there's traps in the room, first of all, so I'll grab a handful from the pile of traps.
So you can see there at the bottom, the 2 spears facing each other indicate there are going to be traps in the room, and we place traps down on all of the yellow nodes which aren't on a door side. Door, and it could be windows, but a doorway side. So you can actually see there, because we've got 2 doorways there and we've got a doorway there, that's going to limit the traps to here.
So not many traps.
Now, if you are a player and you land on that, we will flip it over, and of course there are certain conditions if it does happen to be a trap. But this doesn't affect enemies, does it?
No, it does not. Can't abuse that too much. We have too much control over their movements. That would be a little bit janky. What do we have in the room though?
We have a Silver Knight Bowman.
Oh,
and he's going to be, he's nasty. So he's going to be on the sword symbol here, the sword node.
That's grim. And his little friend, a crossbowman.
I think it's going to be a reasonably tough room, but we also have a barrel in there as well, which is going to limit some of our movement, and as you can see on the card,
sun.
That's going to go on that purple sun there. Now, I will be going first this time, but it makes sense for Ardstan. He's the Ard one.
Yes,
So he's going to be, he's going to have the aggro token.
So, no, I'm going to have the aggro token.
That's right,
I'm
going to have the aggro.
I'm going to take the shots for everybody.
But I will be going first.
You will go first, and let's place you here.
A tough room versus some ranged enemies here, and of course they're going to be activating first. Now, the order in which the enemies activate is determined by their threat level, which you can see up in the top left hand corner of their cards, and the Silver Knight Great Bowman has a higher threat. So the first thing that he's going to do is he's going to
take a shot at the aggro model. You see it's aggro by the skull there.
Absolutely.
So he's going to shoot me. He does 4 physical damage. You can see that by the crossed swords. So I get to roll my blue and my black as I put the shield up. I stop 3 of it, so I take 1 damage.
You're going to take 1 damage. Now, if we look at the bottom corner there, it also has the symbol for hitting multiple models in one mode. So if we do find ourselves on the same node, Yonwolf and Ardstan, that would affect both of us, and we'd both have to roll to try and avoid that damage. But at this point,
the Silver Knight Great Bowman's going to look at the aggro model and move 1 directly away from it. So it ends up on this trapped node here. It doesn't trigger the trap, but is getting away from us.
And now it's the turn of the crossbow hollow. We look at his card, and as you can see, he's going to move 1 away from the character with the aggro token, which is Ardstan.
So he backs himself into a corner.
And at this point, he is now going to do 3 magical damage. And you can tell that it's magical damage by this warpy flame symbol that goes around that damage marker. So you're going to have to try and resist this, but this is a little bit different from your normal resist.
Yeah, so my physical resist is pretty good. I get a blue and a black dice, but my magical resist, I only get it from my armour, and I only get 1 black dice. And at the best, I can stop 2 of it.
And you can see this here. This is your physical resistance, and this is your magical resistance. So that's can be found in the bottom left-hand corner of your armour cards.
So let's give it a roll. Wait, I only take 1.
That's pretty good.
So, pretty fantastic work there from the knight.
And it's Yonwolf who must activate next, because the last character to activate in the last encounter was, of course, Ardstan. So Yonwolf is going to do his free movement, and he's going to go onto the trap there. So we get to show off some of the trap mechanics here, and we're going to flip that over. And lucky man, as you can see, no effects there. He's now going to spend an additional stamina to jump on the crossbow hollow. We've decided that he's probably the biggest threat with that magical damage, and it's time to give it a good swing at him. There's not multiple models and enemies on the node, so no point me doing the special attack for the extra 2 stamina. So we're going to roll this, see if we get him, and we do.
Yeah.
We do, because he's got 1 armor, but he's only got 1 health. That means 1 of these comes off and 1 damage goes through. Bye-bye crossbow hollow.
Hooray! So back to the monster's activation, and it's the Silver Knight Greatbowman. He's going to shoot Yonwolf for 4 physical damage.
4 physical damage.
Yeah, and you have 2 black dice.
We have 2 black dice to resist this, so there's a chance of whiffing. But let's have a little look. We don't do it, so we actually take 2 damage.
2 damage there.
2 damage, which we'll mark off on our character board now.
Yep, and then he backs away from the aggro, which is Yonwolf, so he backs away, perfectly positioning himself for Ardstan to come in, take advantage, and chop him up.
Ha ha ha! Here we go, Ardstan. Time to smash things up with a backstab.
Yep, so Ardstan here with his free move, going to walk into contact there, into range 0, and spend 4 stamina to make his heavy attack, which gives him a blue and a black dice. Now these guys have 2 armor, so I need to get a 3 on these dice to kill him.
Come on!
Oh, perfect.
Absolutely smashes him. So the 1 gets through because it's still 1 health.
Yep.
2 come off, and that means that we've cleared the room. Now, no treasure chests in this, but we will earn ourselves some souls to pick up some new equipment. Yonwolf and Ardstan turn out to be a bit of a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
But here they are back at the bonfire tile, and it's time to spend some more souls. Now, in this first playthrough up until we get to the boss, we're of course going to be trying to spend the souls how we see fit. But make sure that you comment below and let us know which kind of direction you'd like to see us take. So the first thing we're going to do is spend a soul, and we're going to flip a card to see what kind of equipment we're going to get.
So we've got the Firelink armor. This is pretty good armor.
Really good armor.
So, gives you both blue in both magical and physical resistance, and has 2 upgrade slots. Requires 20 strength and 15 intelligence. So for myself, that's an upgrade in strength and an upgrade in intelligence to be able to equip it.
It's exactly the same for myself. Yeah. And I'm looking at it and thinking, oh well, I want that fire.
I'm thinking the same.
Yeah, because it's pretty good. However, I do look at it, the knight armor is better than the northern armor.
And you can just straight equip my knight armor. You can have my hand-me-downs.
Oh really?
So yeah, so this is 12 strength requirement, and the warrior starts with 16, is it? So if I were to get the Firelink, I'd get better physical magical resistance,
yep.
And then you would just get my knight armor to bump your defense up.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
What we're going to do, because we both want that at the moment, we're going to stick that to the side, because that's not a tough one for either of us to get. It's only going to come at the cost of 4 souls, which is probably going to be, it's going to be another room, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely one to think about.
I'll spend another one for another flip, because we might as well keep it on even numbers.
Yep.
This is from the Knight's character treasure deck, so either one of us can equip it. And it is the Sun Princess Ring. It requires 25 faith and 30 strength, but when you end your activation, you regain 1 health. Now
for me, that's 2 upgrades in the strength character progression column, and it's also 2 upgrades in the faith, so a total cost of, what's that, that's 12 souls?
12 souls. And for myself, it's 2 in strength, but 3 in faith, so it's actually probably better suited for yourself.
Which is tough, because then I can't be as selfish about trying to get the Firelink armor. So
maybe that's from my armor. That's for me.
Yeah, maybe we should let the knight work towards that as well as the claymore. Whilst at the meantime,
I think claymore is the priority. This is a nice thing to have, and is an armor upgrade. So I'd actually need the Firelink armor to be able to equip it.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. So everything going on Ardstan at the moment, but he is
being a greedy knight.
He is well hard. And at this point, I don't know about you, but I actually think we should start working towards that with 2 of the souls.
Yeah, so I think since we've got 3 things that are requiring strength that Ardstan has got his eyes on, if we spend these 2 to start pushing strength up, I can go to tier 1 in strength. So I think I'm just going to spend those 2 souls to increase my strength to tier 1, give me 21 strength, and push me closer towards equipping that Firelink armour, and then also long goal of the claymore.
So it's time for Ardstan and Yonwolf to enter the final encounter room before they take on the Gargoyle. And this is a level 2 encounter, so in theory it should be a little bit tougher.
It's a lot tougher.
Oh gosh, it's the
horrible.
Demon Ruins.
It's horrible.
The Demon Ruins. So as you can see there on Demon Ruins, we've got 2 icons here which indicate that we're going to be getting 2 Silver Knight swordsmen. And
I think it's a swordsman.
Oh, there's a swordsman and a bowman. But then there's also my nemesis from my first ever playthrough. It's the large grave hollow.
And the barrel?
And we've also got a barrel in there.
Is that on the sun or the sort of crucifix?
The crucifixy thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very tough room. You activated last, so I will activate first this time, but you're going to go in.
I'm going to be tanking it. Brave Sir Knight.
Yeah, it makes sense that Ardstan is the one who tanks it, and it also makes sense, therefore, that he's earning the right to get these stat progressions and kit that he's getting. So those guys are going to go in. This is going to be a tough room, but can Ardstan and Yonwolf conquer it like they conquered the other 2? They've been doing well so far. Is this where they'll come unstuck? As you can see, it makes sense. Ardstan, he's going in, he's tanking it, and he's in that bottom right hand corner of the room, while Yonwolf is standing in the middle, hopefully trying to draw some of those enemies in and bash them with his special 2-tammer attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, horrible room to stand over in front of the fog gate. That was
Yeah.
Ardstan's words exactly. That's what he said.
This is a tough one to get through to get to the gargoyles.
So of course the enemies are going to activate first, and the one with the highest threat level is the Silver Knight Swordsman. And the Silver Knight Swordsman is going to move 2, and he's going to move 2 to the nearest model.
So that is Yonwolf here. We're going to move him 1 here, 2 to the centre of the room.
At this point he would push.
Yep, so he may make an attack that has a push attached with it. It hits the node and hits the nearest player, but at range 0, so no one's hit.
Fantastic, which is good news. Next up we've got the large hollow soldier, who's a threat level of 6. You can see in that corner there. And this guy, he's got a push damage of 5.
Yeah, so he doesn't do attacks. Whenever he walks into you, and specifically when he walks into you, he does 5 damage. But because he's got a push on him, if you, let's say you were, for example, stood here, he would push you away, that wouldn't do damage, and then he'd walk into you and do the damage.
Wow.
But we've quite nicely got these guys stacked up on the middle node.
So Yonwolf's going to have some work to do, we think, when it comes to him. Which leaves the Silver Knight Great Bowman. Now remember, this guy, he's going to be targeting the character with the aggro token for 4 damage.
Yep.
And it would hit everyone in there, but that's why we're not on the same node.
So I put my shield up, and I stopped 3 of it. Keep those good rolls coming.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent roll.
Then he tries to back away, but he's literally as far away from the aggro model as he can be, so he stays still.
Yeah, he doesn't have to move. He doesn't have to move. And that's exactly the same if you're on the same node, right, as one of the characters. At which point, it's my turn to go first.
Yeah,
and
Yonwolf's
going to jump in for free, and he's going to be spending 2 stamina, and he's going to be rolling the 2 dice to hit both.
A 3 here would be ideal. That would kill the Silver Knight Swordsman and put some real damage onto the large hollow.
I've got a 4. Yonwolf! Oh, it's a 3!
Lads.
Oh, it's great news.
Well done.
Look at that. Silver Knight Swordsman, probably the biggest threat.
The biggest threat out of everything. The reason he's so tough is that 2 armour with our starting gear is not easy to crack through. And you've also done 2 damage to the large hollow soldier, which means he has 3 health remaining.
As you can see, we've got the health tokens here. So we just put the 3 health on him, and it's going to go back over to our enemies, but good work done by the warrior.
Well done.
Uh-oh. All eyes on Yonwolf.
Yeah. Everyone's got his attention. So first things first, the large hollow soldier's going to go. He's going to push you away, and you can get pushed onto any adjacent node of your choice.
So I think it makes sense with you going next to draw him in towards you.
Yep.
I think so. Now I could do this anyway, really. I'm going to go into this position here.
Okay.
And then he's going to follow me in.
Yeah, so he goes towards the nearest enemy model, which is yourself, and he hits you. So as he walks in, he does 5 damage to you.
He does 5 damage, and it's on
and
a
it
push
also pushes, so you get pushed away.
At which point, I'm not going to go into the same node as you because
Thank you
of
very
that.
much.
Yeah, because I'm nice. Because I'm nice like that, and I'm actually going to move back.
The old switcheroo.
The old switcheroo towards the Silver Knight Bowman.
Yep. Keeping him in place.
Keeping him where he needs to be, really. But I do take 5 damage. I've only got 2 black dice on my armour here, so what can I say?
Oh,
that's not bad at all.
good roll.
Not bad at all. So I'm going to take 2 damage
Yep.
from the large hollow soldier.
Yep. And then you get shot for 4 damage.
I'm going to get shot for 4 damage.
So you got that same resistant roll.
Same resistance
Same roll. And take two.
Two
so
more.
that's 2 more damage. So you've spent 2 stamina and you've taken 4 damage.
Fantastic. So we mark that off on the character card now. So that's a total of 4 damage to the Yonwolf. It's time for Ardstan the Hardstone. He's going to be going in and he's going to try and slay this large hollow soldier.
Okay, so I've had a few choices to make. I could either go in and with a good roll kill the large hollow soldier, or I go all the way over to the other side of the board and try and hit the Silver Knight Greatbowman, where with an average roll I kill him, but then I leave the warrior open to a charge from the large hollow soldier, which blanks are possible. Even just one hit, one blank would kill the warrior. So I'm going to try and push my luck and go for the good roll. So I'm going to...
So you're really doing this for Yonwolf. So the bond between Yonwolf and Ardstan is really growing here.
Yep. I'm going to move in for free, spend 4 stamina to make a heavy attack, and hope to roll a total of 4, which is pretty high on these dice.
Oh!
I did it!
Ardstan, Stone Crusher.
Down goes the large hollow soldier.
What an epic roll.
Phew!
Wow. Wow, Ardstan doing the business. Both of these guys doing the business in our character campaign here. Wow.
And for my troubles, I get shot.
You do get shot. Yeah, wow. Over to the Silver Knight Greatbowman.
Yep.
Who is going to shoot you.
He shoots me. My physical block, I stop 1 damage.
You're doing so well. Stop 1 damage, and he would back away.
Sorry, I take 1 damage.
But there's nowhere else.
There's nowhere else for him to go. He's backed into that corner.
So it's the turn for the Yonwolf. So it's important to note that at the start of each turn that you actually recover 2 stamina. So Yonwolf back down to...
He's got no stamina left in his bar, so he's got 6 spaces.
6 spaces. Which means that he's going to move in for free.
Yep.
He's then going to move in. And he's going to hit, and he's going to be doing normal attack, which doesn't cost any stamina.
Nope, needing a 3 to kill it.
I told you. 4! Butcher! Oh, 3! Wow, these guys are bossing it, absolutely bossing it. And the warrior slays the Silver Knight Bowman. And what should be a really tough room.
Yeah, made it look real easy.
The dynamic duo of Yonwolf and Ardstan have absolutely smashed it, which means that it's back to the bonfire. And of course, at the end of the encounter, we have to remove all of the blocks, which is useful because we're about to go in and fight the Gargoyle times 2. We're about to go in and fight the Gargoyle, but luckily we still have full Estus tokens.
Yeah, we've still got everything on our player
We've got our
boards.
luck. We've also got our special abilities as well, which is fantastic. So things are looking up for going into the boss fight.
We do also have 4 souls to spend.
Woohoo! So those of you more experienced in the game may have noticed an error in the previous encounter, and that is the Demon Ruins is a trapped encounter. It does have the 2 spears at the bottom, and it's really important when you're playing the game that you do try and be aware of this here. Now we have checked, we've had a little look, and we would have had 1 extra damage to Yonwolf, so it wouldn't have made a big difference, but we will have to keep an eye on that going forward. We're back in the bonfire, and we've got some souls to spend. So our Ashen heroes are acutely aware that they are about to enter the boss tile and take on the Gargoyle. So we've got 4 souls here, and we've been having a discussion, and we need to make sure that we're set up as best we can do to take this on. Remember, we're not going to be grinding out this game.
Yeah.
We're not going to be grinding it out. Now, you can play Dark Souls the board game and reset, go back, go fight through, build up more souls, get the equipment that you want, but we want this to be exciting. We don't just want this to be that kind of game for you guys. So what we decided to do, Ardstan?
Yeah, so we're going to spend 2 to increase the knight's intelligence to 15, which gives me access to the Fire Link armor.
Now remember, what does the Fire Link armor do?
So the Fire Link armor, for physical, it means I'm the exact same, but for magical, I gain a blue dice rather than a black dice, which makes me feel a little bit more tanky, and also gives me 2 equipment slots, 2 upgrade slots for my armor, in case I do manage to get to the Sun Princess ring. What it does mean for our warrior, Yonwolf, is that you can have my old army. You can cosplay as Ardstan.
And I do have the strength requirement to do that, of course, and also the...
That's it.
That's it. It's just a strength requirement, and it makes sense to do this because this is a blue dice.
Yeah, so it makes you the same sort of tankiness level as I was to begin with.
As you were before.
As physical, we're exactly the exact same now.
Yeah. Now you do notice that I do lose the dodge, but at this point, especially versus the bosses.
We've not dodged once, and dodges on bosses tend to be ranging between 1 and 2, so you won't be able to dodge all their attacks. That's not the build we're going into, so let's run with it.
So it's bye-bye to the Northern armour, and I get Ardstan's hand-me-downs. Or maybe Yonwolf is Ardstan's little brother.
Maybe, yeah.
I seem to remember this in my life. So at this point we could spend the remaining 2 souls to up Ardstan's dexterity and start working towards that claymore, really sort of tanking him up really. He looks like he's going to be one that's going to be our main soul investment looking at the early game here. But flips are quite cool, and it'd be quite nice to get something nice for Yonwolf. So we're going to spend those to do some flips. And remember, we don't have to spend these souls for luck or anything. We're not able to use any of those tokens yet.
Pretty well set going into the boss. Oh, an ember.
Oh, wow.
So we immediately equip this and discard that card. An ember means that whenever you take 3 or more damage after your block or resistance roll, you reduce the incoming by 1. Since I am a better tank, I think that should go to you, because you're more likely to take the higher number damage.
Fantastic. So I'm going to place that on my character board, and we're going to draw another card.
Yep. Spend the soul, draw the card. The Master's Attire. This is fantastic mid-range assassin armour.
Oh wow.
No magical or physical resistance, but 2 dodge and 2 upgrade slots. Requires 30 dex, so would be a tier 3 dexterity for myself.
Tier 3 from myself as well.
So maybe later down the line if I want to change up to a dodge knight, potentially, but Ardstan's pretty happy ignoring that armour. Yeah,
it's also a tier 3 intelligence for myself. Maybe a tier 2 intelligence for you, 18?
Yeah, tier 2 for me.
Tier 2 for you, so maybe something going forward into the future, but we've got a gargoyle to go and fight.
Yeah.
Wish us luck. Cue scary gargoyle music. Here we go. We are entering the room with the gargoyle, and boss fights work ever so slightly differently, so although this isn't a how to play video, we hope that you are learning as you go along ever so slightly. Once again, do recommend you go and check out the Steamforged video if you really want to learn in depth how to play this game. The gargoyle card is here. Here we go. You can see that he's got 26 health, and his heat up is on 12. That's when he gets extra horrible, crazy cards going into his deck, which mean business on us. He's got a threat level of 10, which doesn't really mean anything in
the core game, though. There may be occasions in the future where mini bosses or mega bosses fight alongside grunts, and that will determine the enemy activation order at that time.
Absolutely. You'll see along the bottom that if we were playing a standard game, it tells you what the rooms would be in the run-up, but of course we're playing through the campaign, so that isn't going to be applicable. He has 4 cards. Now he actually comes with how many cards?
So there's 5 cards in his base deck, so I'm just going to take one of them out at random, giving him a deck of 4 behaviour cards.
Yeah, and we've shuffled those up.
Shuffled them up already, yep.
Shuffled those up, so they are going to be placed down here. So we've got a bit of an idea of what's going on. We'll move them as and when it's appropriate. You can see that he's got 2 normal armour and 1 magical resistance armour there as well. We need to go into the room. Now, I was the last person to activate, which means that I'm going to be...
Well, I'm going first, which means we want you to have the aggro so I don't get walloped twice.
Absolutely. So we're going to place that down there, and I'm going to go over here.
Yep, and I'll split onto the other side of the room.
And you're going to split onto the other side of the room into this position. And then we need to see what happens with our big boss. And this is one of my favourite dynamics from Dark Souls, the board game. Definitely the boss fights have got a huge
cinematic moment.
Very, very, very cinematic, and always mega fun to do demos of as well. We've got the little dial here as well, which is going to be monitoring the gargoyle's health. As you can see, that's on 26 at the moment. Well, let's get this started. I'm scared. I'm not scared, I'm Yonwolf. Yonwolf isn't scared. Flip the card. And we have a tail sweep. So you want to explain that, Jamie?
Yeah, sure thing. So he's going to advance forwards 1 towards nobody in particular, towards the nearest player. So that's both of us. So he's going to target you, but he's just going to go forwards 1.
Forwards 1, and you notice that they've got arcs on this as well. So he's just going to move forward like so.
Yep. He then attacks in the front and his left arc for 4 physical damage at range 1. Doesn't hit anybody. And
but that would hit here, 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 and here.
Yes, correct. And then he is weak and vulnerable in the rear, which means we gain an additional black dice for attacking him in the rear arc.
Yeah, and that would hit Oh, wow, that's a big attack. So as you can see, all of that is there, and it would also take 2 to try and dodge this.
Yes, yeah.
Which
So
neither of us are going to be able to do.
no, I don't have any dodge, and I don't think you do either.
Terrifying stuff. And then we're going to place that down, face up.
Yep.
Face up into that position there, and it's going to go over to us. And you're going to be activating first, right?
Yes, correct. Yep. Okay, so Ardstan's to go, and this one, as we're fighting 2 gargoyles back to back, is a marathon, not a sprint. So move my free one to here. Spend 1 to go onto this node. Now my weapon is range 0, so I need to be on the base with the gargoyle. Obviously the gargoyle is a huge creature, so effectively for the game it splits its node into 4 new nodes, and each of these costs 1 stamina to walk around. I'm going to walk and spend my 2nd point of stamina to enter its rear arc, so it's weak there. And then I'm going to make a free attack with my longsword, which gives me 1 blue dice. And because I'm in the rear arc, I gain 1 free black dice. Now normally that attack would cost me 4 stamina.
Yep.
So it's well worth me getting into these weak arcs.
Absolutely.
He has got an armour of 2. So he takes, sadly, just the 1 damage.
Oh, normally that would be nice. That would have killed most things.
Most things, yeah. So he's down to 25 health. And it's now on back to the gargoyle. And I have the aggro token.
Oh, it's the gargoyle again. So his behaviour is determined by the order of these cards, which again, very cool. Next up, halberd thrust. Halberd thrust. So that means that he's going to push anybody who's on the node with him
away, and I'm going to jump. So I have to go back into, unlike regular like hollow soldiers and whatnot that push you around the monsters. You can go into any adjacent node. When a boss pushes you, it has to be inside the arc that you're in. So I can move to one of these 3. And I'm just going to jump back to here.
Perfect. At which point, he's going to turn and face the one with aggro.
Which is myself.
Yep, and he's going to move forward 1.
It pushes me, and because there's no nodes here, I'm forced into the corner.
Scary stuff. Scary stuff. At which point, he's then going to take a swing at the closest, which is you.
I think it's aggroed, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, aggro, yeah. So 6 damage. 6 damage.
So I'm still rolling a blue dice and a black dice. We're not geared up for this at all. I'm a pro and I stopped 3, so
pretty good.
3 damage, which is
3 damage. That's not too terrible. Not too terrible. Now this does leave it does leave him weak on his left arc here, which is very far away from me.
It's not too far away. You are 1 node away.
Oh, true.
1 to go in. So you could even use your once per spark to make your free move, and then use a once per spark to make that another free move, and then a free attack, keeping yourself completely fresh.
Which might be a valid tactic. And let's do that. So Berserk Charge, once per spark during his activation, the warrior may move 1 node without spending stamina, the next range 0 attack he makes. So we're going to do the free move first of all.
Yep.
Into there. We're then going to move up into that weak arc.
With Berserk Charge.
With the Berserk Charge. So that's where we are. We're on the same node as him at the moment, but in that arc. And this is 2 black dice for me.
And you're in the weak arc, so you gain the additional black dice.
And at this point, I'm going to roll 6. No! Oh!
Amazing work.
Yonwolf, you
goodness.
superstar. And that does 4 damage.
Yes, so down to 21.
Now that does 4 damage because, of course, that's 2 physical armour there. That was epic work from Yonwolf.
Good Berserk Charge.
It was a fantastic Berserk Charge. Didn't cost him any stamina. Aggro token, though, is, of course, going to go to him. So a bit of damage there on the Gargoyle. Let's draw and see what he does next. So here we go. The next behaviour is Electric Breath.
Ugh.
Now, it says here that he moves 0.
Right, so this is an interesting one. So he's going to,
very different.
Firstly, he's going to turn the range 0, but it's effectively a targeting mechanic. So he doesn't push anyone away, and he's just going to turn towards the nearest model, which is you, because you are on the same node as him.
I certainly am on the same node.
He then hits his front arc, which is just you, and it is nodal, for 4 magical damage.
Ouch. Ouch. And I've only got 1 black dice to resist
Black dice to resist that.
1 black dice to resist this, so let's give it a good go.
1.
1. So I'm going to take 3 damage.
Yep.
I'm going to take 3 damage from that. But that is then going to leave his left arc
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
His right arc, sorry.
His right arc, sorry.
Yep.
So before Ardstan activates, we did notice that we've made a little bit of a mistake before with which arc was a weak arc when Yonwolf attacked. And what we're going to do is we're just going to remove, straight up remove on those black dice. Now luckily they were all 2 damage. So we're just actually going to take away 2 damage from the Gargoyle, which means that was less good than but it's still 2 damage. Still 2 damage.
23 health left.
23 health left. So we're making roads, as it were. Now at the moment that means that the Gargoyle's weak arc is his right arc, and it's time for Ardstan to do his stuff.
Right, so start of his activation, he recovers 2 stamina, but getting to there is going to cost him 2.
Yep.
So I'll keep that on the board. And then once again, just going to make my free attack, and I am in the weak arc, so I get blue and a black dice, -2, chipping away 1 damage.
Another 1 damage in there.
Down to 22.
Down to 22. We'll get there eventually.
Sure.
So it's the turn of the Gargoyle, and we're going to flip that final card. I can't believe we've got to fight 2 of these back to back.
No,
Tough.
With our starter gear, we're not going to do this, I don't think.
Tail Whip.
Oh.
Okay, so Tail Whip, again, happens once. It starts off with 4 damage.
Yep.
And that 4 damage is to everybody in the right.
Yeah, this arc and the back arc, so I'm currently getting hit.
You're currently getting hit at the moment. Now, what does that symbol mean? That particular symbol?
That's nodal.
That's... Oh, okay.
So it hits everybody on that node.
Hits everybody on that node. Okay, brilliant.
So I get a blue and a black dice to put my shield up and block with.
Which you're going to absolutely nail.
So currently I'm taking 2.
2 damage.
I'm going to use my once per spark to add in an additional blue dice.
Okay.
And I take no damage.
Take no damage, so it could be very, very useful. That's once per spark.
Yep, so that's my once per spark is done. And then the movement element is we both get pushed away. So I'm just going to push myself to here.
Yep.
And then you get pushed away as well.
And I'm going to go here.
Yep. And then the movement is targeted towards the aggro, so he'll turn to face.
Yep.
And then back away 1. But he's weak in the very front arc, which is handy for Yonwolf.
Absolutely is. So over to the Yonwolf. So here we go. Yonwolf. He's going to do his free movement, and he's going to go into that front arc there, which is currently weak, which means he's going to get the extra black dice. He's definitely going to get that this time.
6. Let's get 6 again.
He's got 6!
No, I got 4.
Got 4, which means that the Gargoyle will take 2 more damage.
Down to 20.
Down to only 20 more to do. What did he start on? 26?
26.
But to be fair, both of us have only taken...
Basically on our starter gear, all the gear we've got is... I've increased my magical resistance from a black to a blue dice. So I was not expecting us to do this one.
No.
But we'll see how far we get into it.
Yeah, we'll do our very best. And at this point, it goes back to the Gargoyle, and we just have to flip this back over. And we're not allowed to look at what order it's in. It's part of the kind of remembering process, as it were. And this is our deck and our monster AI. It's our boss AI.
So the first move, I think, it's definitely move forwards 1. Which is going to push you away, and that'll get to push you onto one of these 2. And it is a tail sweep that hits the front arc and one of the side arcs. I think it was its left arc, so I think you should move on to the right hand side of it.
Move on to the right hand side of it. Okay,
I
so
think.
Well,
but I could be completely
see.
wrong. It's 50-50.
We'll see. So we're going to flip it over, and it was tail sweep. So tail sweep immediately pushes me off node.
Yep.
And this hits front and left. Front and left.
Yeah.
So in that case,
You probably want to be on its right side, so you take no damage.
so do I want to go into?
Oh, it's going to hit.
Because if it hits front and left, and it's going to follow me in there. If I move there,
Yeah, there's no way for you avoiding it.
no, I'm not going to avoid this. So I get pushed there first of all.
Yep.
And it's then going to turn and face me, so I'm the nearest, and it's going to follow me in like so.
Yep. And you want to move directly backwards with the push?
I think it probably makes sense because I have to stay in its node. It's not like I can bounce and roll to the other side, like so. And then at which point it's then going to hit
The
front and left for 4 damage.
Yep.
Which does get me. So I've got a blue and a black dice here.
Come on, you can stop it all.
Come on, Yonwolf. Would you?
Hey!
Oh.
Done it!
Yonwolf. Great work. And there you can see the benefit of getting the blue dice and the hand-me-down armour there.
Yeah.
So we're not going to take anything there, and that means that it's going to go back over to our dynamic duo.
Alright, Ardstan up. He's going to make a free move to here and spend 1 stamina after recovering 2 to get in there. So he'll have 1 stamina cube on his bar and 3 health cubes. And he's going to make his free attack with the longsword.
Nice.
Do 2 damage. It's getting better. He's warming up. So it's down to 18 health.
Okay, and how far are we off the warm-up? And that's when everything gets shuffled and we shuffle in some nasty moves.
The heat up is at 12, and that's when the special rule kicks in that any range 0 attacks cost an additional stamina to make.
Oh,
because it's flying up in the air and you've got to reach up and grab it.
Now, although I am pretty pleased that at the moment,
both of us are looking pretty healthy. Like, we've both got 7 spaces in our endurance bar, one of which of mine is taken up by stamina.
Yep.
But it's over to the boss again.
Over to the boss, and let's flip that card straight away. We can do this. Okay,
cool. So this one is Halberd Thrust. This is where aggro token's gone walkies. It's going to push me away. I'm going to push myself to here. So I get pushed back in the arc. It's this choice or this choice. Turns to face the aggro model. Walks 1 forwards. I just push back straight to here, and then hits me for 6 physical damage.
Wow.
So blue and the black dice. Oh! Stop 4 of it. So
nice.
2.
Good effort.
He is complete there, and the weak spots, we get it right this time. I'll put the cards this side so we follow his facing.
Yeah.
This is the weak side.
Okay, so a little bit better for the Yonwolf there. Currently, Yonwolf is giving the positivity.
Yeah.
That he's shouting over encouragement. So we can do this. We don't have to fight another one afterwards, but we do. So I'm going to move my free movement for there. I'm going to spend 1 stamina to get myself into that arc, which of course is the Gargoyle's weak arc, and I'm going to take a swing, which of course means I get that extra black token. And this is once again, I'm going to do that magic roll of 6. Come on, Yonwolf. Okay, so not as good anywhere near. Okay, that time we're only going to do 1 damage because there is a blank in there, and then of course the 2 come off for armor. So 1 more damage, and that's going to take him down to 18.
Down to 17.
Down to 17.
Yeah.
So we're doing work. We are getting there. It's going to go back to the Gargoyle. It's the turn of the Gargoyle. Let's see what he's going to be doing. What do you think it is? Remember? A tail whip?
Tail whip, I think it's the where he... No, it's the magic one, where he just relocates to face you and hits you for magic damage.
Okay, that could be grim. Okay, so one thing that we did remember is that I, of course, do have an Ember, which means that when I took 3 damage before, I actually took 2, which we might not have done on camera. But let's reveal. Let's see what... Yeah, Electric Breath. You're absolutely right. So Electric Breath means that he simply turns to face.
Turns to face you.
And we'll stay on the same node. Mm-hmm. And then he's going to do 4 damage to his front arc.
Yep, magical. So you
magical.
Get 1 black dice to resist it.
And 1 black dice to resist. Ah.
And you take 2.
And I take 2. Which means that I'm now down 4 health at the moment. And that is going to leave...
Oh, look at that, where he's weak though.
I know, he's weak on his right, which is perfect.
Fantastic.
Perfect for you, because that's him finished. Let's go straight into Ardstan.
Yep, so Ardstan recovers. So he's got no stamina spent in his bar. Moves in for 3.
And remember, he's currently down 5 health. So we're mindful of this.
Yep. Make my free attack. Your blue and a black dice.
Oh, you get another black dice, don't you?
Oh no, my free attack's just a blue dice.
Okay.
And I do nothing. Oh, that's a shame.
That is a shame. And I don't think it's worth doing.
I think we'll save the luck defensively, because this is, as we said earlier, a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely. And while we're here, we might as well see what he's going to do next. You're going to get the aggro token, of course. And this is the tail whip one, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so tail whip. So tail whip, he immediately does 4 damage to his right hand side, which unfortunately is you, and his rear.
His rear arc, yep. So hits me for 4 physical damage.
Hits you for 4 physical damage, which you're going to try and get rid of.
So I stop 2 of it.
Stop 2.
And he then turns to face the aggro model, which is me.
Yep.
And backs away 1.
Backs away 1. And he's also got a push on there as well, hasn't he? So he would
push both of us away, sorry. So
push both of us away.
So I'll back away to here, and I assume he's going to end up... Well, first in there, you back away.
Yeah.
He ends up there.
Fantastic stuff. So there we go. Down to Yonwolf to do some business now. So it's turn of Yonwolf, and Yonwolf is going to do the following. It's the front arc, which is weak after the tail whip. So he is actually just going to jump in for 3 there. It means he's going to get his extra black dice when he attacks.
Yep, so 3 black dice.
3 black dice. This is where he does 6 damage, which will go down to 4.
2 down to 0. The Gargoyle tanking it this turn.
Unbelievable. So he's going to move out like so, and that is going to put the aggro token on Yonwolf. We're going to reset the deck. like so into that position, and let's flip over for the Gargoyle. And once again, it's tail sweep. So what he's going to do here, he pushes first of all.
Yep.
So he's going to push me, and I have to stay in the arc, so I'm going to go into this corner here.
Yep.
And then he's going to move one towards the nearest. So he'll turn to face, move in.
Yep. You can jump. I'm going to get hit by this.
You are going to get hit by this.
We got it wrong in our heads, but you can then, because you're being pushed up against the wall,
yep.
you can choose to go into any adjacent wall node, which means you can do the old switcheroo, get behind him.
Yep.
So you get missed by the attack, but I get hit.
Ah, okay. So you're going to get hit for 4 damage.
4 damage, so blue and a black dice, and I need to stop 2 of it to live. I'll stop it all because I'm a pro.
Stop it all because that is what Ardstan does.
He's an odd guy.
Ardstan, Knight of Stone. Yep. That's what he is. Brilliant. So that'll be the Gargoyle, and then it is actually going to go over to you.
Yeah.
Which we'll go straight into.
Alright, so I'm going to move 1 for free to here.
Yeah.
And spend 1 stamina to get into the weak spot.
Absolutely.
Which only leaves me with 2 cubes available. So I'll make my free attack.
Here we go.
And I do 1 damage.
You do 1 damage.
Chip away.
But at this point, with you only having 2 boxes left,
I am going to use my Estus token.
Yeah, absolutely.
To remove everything from my endurance bar. So I'm back to full health, and I need to not take a lot of hits.
Absolutely. Now you can only get Estus Flask back when you reset your spark.
Spend a spark, yeah.
When you spend a spark. Remember, you spend a spark if you die.
Or you reset the board.
Or you reset the board.
Yeah.
Now you can buy sparks in the campaign.
You can buy sparks for the cost of 2 souls per player. So effectively, if you clear an encounter, you can buy back a spark. You can't ever go above your base sparks. And if you die, you lose your embers. But if you voluntarily spark, then you keep your embers. Which is one of the sort of trade-offs with going into a boss battle this early, is that ember that we got, it was a freebie, but we probably lose it. That is the activation over though, so it goes back to the Gargoyle. Alright, so up next for the Gargoyle, we've got Halberd Thrust. This is the one where it chases the aggro around. So first things first, I'm going to get pushed away, and since I'm sharing this node, I can go here or here. I will bring it this way.
Absolutely.
So it turns to face, walks forwards 1, pushes away, just make sure I'm following everything correctly. Pushes away, getting there, again lining you up for the
weak spot.
The weak spot. And then it hits me for 6 damage. So good job I used my Estus token, because I probably wouldn't be able to survive this. But let's see what I roll. 2.
Yeah, you'd have been dead.
So I take 4 damage, not good. Might be a time to use my luck token, maybe.
You think? Oh, and you do that on the blue dice, would you?
On the blue one, yeah, because I can max out at a 3.
Okay.
Oh!
Yeah!
Take 2 less damage.
2 less damage. That's going to be absolutely huge.
But I have spent everything.
But you know,
8 endurance left.
8 endurance left. That's the name of the game. Over to Yonwolf. So those of you screaming at us for going and taking on the boss encounter, remember we're doing this because it's fun.
Yeah. No, we're not about the grind.
No, we're not going to try and grind it out. Yonwolf is going to jump in.
We're going to try and grind it out.
Yeah, this one here. Yonwolf is going to jump in with his massive axe, battle axe, for free, and he's in a weak spot, so he's going to get extra black dice. And I'm going to do at least 2 damage here. I can feel it.
You feel it?
I can feel it. But jump!
1 damage.
1 damage. 1 damage.
Down to 15.
Not terrible.
We're getting there.
We're getting there, and he's not a million miles away from. They're only 3 damage away.
Yeah.
3 damage.
Heat up from when he gets even more powerful.
From when he gets even more powerful, and then we've got to fight another one straight away afterwards. So we're going to flip the card. It was Halberd Thrust last time, and next up we've got Electric Breath.
We're because we've got even number of cards and an even number of players, we are constantly getting the same attacks done to us.
Yep.
So he turns to you, he zaps you for 4 magic damage. So you get your 1 black dice.
Get my 1 black dice. Here we go.
Oh no.
However, because of my...
So you could use your luck token to reroll that.
It could be another blank.
It could be. It could be 2 damage.
Yeah, it could be 2 damage. Okay, I'm going to use...
If you at least get 1, then you only take 2 damage because you stop 1 of it.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
So you stop 1, your ember kicks in, so you only take 2 damage.
I'm going to take 2 damage. Now he's going to put me down. I've only got 4 boxes left, so things looking a little bit hairy over here for the warrior now. Okay, but that does mean that it's going to go over to the knight. We
Yep,
should have
and-
moved the aggro to there, but we'll move it there.
Yep. And nicely positioned.
Yep.
I'll recover no stamina because I've not spent any. Walk in for free and make a free attack.
Absolutely.
And
1 damage again.
1 damage consistency.
Yeah, we're chipping away slowly.
Down to 14.
Down to 14, so getting that a little bit closer. Let's flip over the last one whilst we're here. And we've got the tail whip, of course. The tail whip is going to do 4 damage.
Yep, so I get hit.
To the rear and right.
Frustrating that it's
That order.
constantly covering its weak arc with an attack immediately after it.
It's almost like it knows.
Yep.
It's a good idea.
Drawing you in.
Doing well.
So I take
Whoa.
no damage.
You take no damage. What a great roll.
A perfect roll. And then
Pushes?
it pushes us both away. So I'm going to jump away to here.
Yep.
And you've got your choice. You've got this node or this node.
I'm going to go to there. And it backs away 1.
Yep, so it turns to face the, well, it tries to. Turns to face, backs away, there's no node directly behind it, so I think it just goes to there.
Yep.
And that is it done.
That's it done, which means that it's going to go back over to Yonwolf. Come on, Yonwolf. Time to do some business. So he's going to move for free to go to that position. And he's going to spend 1 to get into that front arc. So 1 stamina is going to go in there. And he's going to take a swing. And it is the weak. So I'm going to get extra black dice. This is the one where we're going to get the 4 damage. I can feel it. And that would take him down to 10 health.
Yep, trigger the heat up.
And trigger the heat up. Roger!
Oh.
Please be a 2. Okay, good. So we do 1 damage. 1 damage. So down to 13 health, which means 1 away from the heat up. 1 away from the heat up. We're going to put the aggro token over to Yonwolf. We're going to flip over the monster deck, the boss deck, and it's tail sweep again.
So you're going to get pushed away into this node or this node. I might recommend going here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Save my bacon.
So we're going to go into that position now.
Yep. Turns towards the nearest model, walks forwards 1,
Yep.
displacing you onto this node, or this node.
And I think...
Onto the one with me.
Sorry?
Oh,
No.
we're stuck here, aren't we? We're both getting hit.
Yes, we are both getting hit. So I think it probably makes more sense to come away from you, because there are a few which hit everything on the arc there. And then he's going to do 4 damage.
4 damage to everyone in his front and side arc. So I'll resolve first.
Yep, then you're going to tank it all.
Oh, I take 1 damage.
Take 1 damage.
And for yourself.
And I am going to take...
So you get a blue. You got the same.
I get a blue dice.
You got my old armor.
I don't get a black dice, though, do I?
Yeah, your shield.
Oh yeah, of
Gives you a
course.
black dice.
Of course. Don't forget the shield. Here we go. Okay, good stuff. So I take 1 damage.
Yep.
And that's going to go on there. And I'm down to 2 now, so we're going to have to start thinking about that Estus flask.
For certain, yeah. Alright, so over to Ardstan. What's his name?
Ardstan.
Ardstan. I knew you nearly said something else entirely there. Free 1 to here. Spend 1 stamina to cycle round to the back arc where he is weak. So 1 stamina spent. And then make my free attack.
Okay, here
Now
we go.
a part of me wants to make my heavy attack because if I succeed in this, he'll take 1 damage and then he'll have the most. It's going to reset his. Oh, I know you're safe from the next attack because it just targets me.
Yep.
If we take him down to 12 health, we're going to reshuffle his deck and we don't know what's going to happen. Which means that you don't get to Estus safely.
Nope.
So I might have a mulligan and he moves 1 towards the aggro and then hits for 6, which means that if I spend that 1 stamina instead coming over here, I should be safe from his attack, maybe.
But will I be safe? Because if he moves towards you, does he hit the left-hand side?
He always hits aggro for this next attack.
So he can't hit.
Everything's targeted, so you're safe from this one, which is why I think I'm not going to attack him, because that will trigger the heat up mechanic, or reshuffle the deck, and you could get taken out by the next attack.
Which would be very, very, very worrying.
So, playing a little bit safer here.
I think it makes sense. And it makes sense for us to do the Gargoyle attack next. So, first of all...
So, move, targeting the aggro, so he moves directly towards me.
Yep.
His attack targets the aggro at range 1, which is here.
Yep.
He misses for 6 damage, doesn't do anything.
Yep.
He's weak on the side that you're in,
Which is perfect.
which is handy, and you're not dead.
And I'm not dead, which is handy, as it does go back to Yonwolf.
Yep.
Yonwolf is going to get the aggro, and he's going to move in, and he's going to be attacking. It's a weak arc, so we've got 3 black dice Can we do the business? Haja! We do 1 damage.
1 damage, which does trigger the heat up mechanic.
So 1 damage, that does trigger the heat up.
Down to 12.
At which point I'm going to spend my Estus.
Yep.
I'm going to spend my Estus, clear everything off the character board. And I'm worried, I have to say.
Yeah, well, we had that pattern sussed out and took advantage of it. We're now going to shuffle up these 3. These are the heat up cards, and if James, you want to pick one of them, don't look at it.
Here we go. Okay.
So, picked 1 heat up card.
Yep.
That's going to get added in. And I'll give them a shuffle off camera. And the boss special rule also now kicks in, where any range 0 attacks cost +1 stamina. So I think we're going to really see our endurance bars deplete very quickly here. Alright, that's all been reshuffled up. Give it a split and a cut.
Back over to the Gargoyle. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What is he going to do now? Let's flip it over.
So we know 4 of the cards in there. It's tail sweep.
Okay.
So it's going to turn towards the nearest model, which is yourself, and you're going to get pushed back into this node, or this node, your choice.
I'm going to go into this one.
This one. It turns to face you, as you're the nearest.
Yep.
Walks forward to 1.
Yep.
Pushes you down the wall, so you get pushed into an adjacent node either side.
Yep. And I'm going to go to there.
Oh, go to the other one. Then he doesn't hit you.
Oh yeah, go to that one.
Yep.
Just see. It's very, very important when you're playing the game
It makes it so much easier.
that you just make sure you've got your head around which way he's going to be hitting there, and almost sort of point it like you're doing map orienteering.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like point at the card in the direction you're going. That way you know which arc's safe and what.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it can. We suffered it in the first one where we hit the wrong arc, thinking it was the weak arc. So he gets us there. He hits at range 1. These nodes and any in the front, but there aren't any, and does no damage.
Which means it's going to go back to Ardstan. Let's do that immediately.
Yep, so recover my stamina. Free move here. Spend 1, spend 2 to get into base contact.
Oh, wow. You're going to spend 2 stamina, because remember you've got to spend an additional one to
I do,
hit.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You can do it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, 2 damage.
2 damage.
Down to 10.
Down to 10. 10 health left. 10 health left. Wow. We've got to see what that Gargoyle's going to do next. Let's draw that card. Okay. What's he going to do next?
Alright, next up we have Tail Whip. That's a pain. So
he's doing it again.
Hits both of us.
Protecting himself.
So range 1 attack in the rear arc and the side in this arc here. So we both get hit for 4 physical damage.
Yep.
I stop all of it.
You stop all of it?
You've got a blue and a black dice.
I've got a blue and a black dice. I stop all of it.
So we take no damage.
That's very good.
He then turns to face, like pushes me away.
Yep.
To here. Turns to face the aggro model.
Which is you.
Tries to back away but can't because he hits the wall.
Yep.
And that's he ends there. And is weak in the front arc.
And he's weak in the front arc, which means that it's time for
the Yonwolf.
The Yonwolf. He's going to bounce in, and he's going to spend 1 stamina to get in.
Yep, and spend another stamina to make an attack.
Another stamina to make an attack. So 2 stamina down, but it does mean that he gets the extra black dice. I'm going to do 4 damage here.
You sure?
Yep. Oh, it's a terrible roll.
Doesn't do any damage.
Doesn't do any damage. 2 blanks. And only 1 goes through, which doesn't go through because of the armour. And I've now got the aggro token.
Oh dear.
And we're immediately going to go into that Gargoyle move here. Yep. So we're going to flip the card, and it is Halberd Thrust.
So not a great one for you.
Nope.
Not for anyone really, but he's going to push you away onto one of these nodes, your choice.
Where is he going to be?
He's just completely chasing after you. He doesn't care about anything else in the world right now.
Just after me?
Just after you, with both the movement and the attack.
Okay. So I'm going to move...
There's no escape.
There's no escape. I'm going to go... He's going to be weak in his right arc.
Yep.
So I'm going to move here for the first push there, and he's going to turn and face me.
Yep.
And he's then going to move in on me.
Yep. Pushing you again into the arc.
Pushing me again.
So he ends up here. And then he hits you for 6 physical damage.
I'm going to make sure I'm there.
Okay.
Okay, for 6 physical damage. Yep. Wow. Okay, so I've got my
Yep.
blue and my black.
Yep.
Here we go.
So you stop 3.
So I stop 3. 3 get through, but that goes down to 2 because of my Ember, which is good news.
Not bad at all.
Not terrible at all. Which is now going to give you an opportunity, Ardstan, to go and do some business in that weak flank.
Yep. So recover 2 stamina.
Yep.
Move 1 in.
Yep.
For free.
Here we go.
Spend a stamina to make the range 0 basic attack.
Remember, this is because of the flying high.
And... Oh, 2 more damage.
2 more damage.
Coming into my element now, he's in the air.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right, and that is Ardstan done.
That's Ardstan done. So back to the Gargoyle. Let's move that one off and let's flip the card. And it is Electric Breath.
Oh, so this is the one where he doesn't push anyone around, just turns to face the closest model, which is myself.
Yep.
And then hits me for 4 magical damage. Finally, the Firelink armor is going to come into play.
Yay.
So I'm going to get to roll a blue dice rather than a black dice to resist this. I stopped 2, so I take 2 damage.
2 damage go through. I'm going to pop that.
And I have 5 endurance remaining, 2 of which are filled up by stamina, so I've got 3 cubes left.
Absolutely. Let's go over to Yonwolf. Yonwolf will recover his 2 stamina, so he's back down to, he's not used any, and he's going to move into that weak arc from the Electric Breath, which is this right hand side. It's on that right hand side there. And now that he's done that, that means he's going to get his extra black dice.
Spends the stamina to make the attack. He's up in the air.
Because of flying high. Down to 8 the Gargoyle.
Yep.
I could halve this.
You could.
I will halve this! No,
Oh,
nothing. 2 blanks. 2 blanks and 2 armor. So unfortunately, he doesn't do the work that he needed to do. And there's one more card on here, and this has to be the heat up card. So I'm very worried.
So aggro on you.
Aggro on me. I'm going to flip it, and it is
Aerial Electric Breath. So it's unfortunately a magic attack.
Oh gosh.
So again, it's just going to reallocate itself. Now we are both the closest model, so it's going to target you as the aggro.
Yep.
So it's just finding a target.
Yep.
And then it attacks the front arc for 5 magic damage.
For 5 magic damage, and I've only got 1 black dice to resist this.
Yep.
So here we go.
Oh,
Okay.
so you stopped 2.
So I stopped 2 of them, which means 3's go through, but because of my ember, that's going to go down to 2 damage.
Ember's doing work for you.
It certainly is doing work for me at the moment, but that was pretty scary. I'd say
And
no weak arc.
No weak arc.
However, does it do this twice?
No.
It doesn't do this twice. I was a bit worried then. I saw quite a lot of 2s on the card and
We've got no repeats. A repeat symbol would be in the middle of the card.
Be in the middle of the card. That's brilliant. So of course that's all going to flip over. That's going to be the order. We kind of should have an understanding of what that is now.
Yeah. So because there is now an odd number of cards in the deck. Whatever I got hit by, you'll get hit by. Whatever you got hit by, I'll get hit by.
Nice.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. So over to you, and there's no weak arc now.
Nope. So recover my 2, and spend 1 to make an attack. Both just in there, wailing away.
Yep.
No weak arc, so just a blue dice for me. I need to get a perfect roll to do any damage, and I fail it.
You fail. Wow.
Oh dear.
So straight back over to the tail sweep.
Yep.
Okay. So closest model, which is either of us. So
We're both going to get pushed away to start with.
Yep.
And I can drag it away from you. So I'm just going to go here. If you want to go there.
Yep.
Turns to face the nearest model, which is both of us, and aggro breaks tie.
Yep. I'm just going to move on towards you.
One towards. I'll just shunt along the back here. I can't escape this. Then he hits me for 4 physical damage. So, can give it a roll to block.
Smashes it.
Take no damage.
Take no damage. Great roll from Ardstan. Absolutely does the business. And because of Ardstan's great work there, it means that Yonwolf has got an opportunity to get in on that weak arc. So he's there. He's just going to jump in behind him like so. And he is going to do his work. He's going to get his 3 dice here. And I am going to get the 4 now. Remember that wonderful roll at the start?
I do. I keep longing for it. You spend 1 stamina because of the flying high roll.
Absolutely. Here we go. No, it's nothing again.
For the past 3 turns.
Yonwolf is his axe blade is blunt.
I think it's fallen off. I think it's embedded in his tail.
He's just hitting him with an ash pole at the moment. Yeah. So there we go, which means it's going to go back to the Gargoyle. I'm worried. And of course I've got the aggro here. So we flip that over and we've got Tail Whip. Tail Whip's going to get me. We have to remember that sort of.
It's constantly
behind straight away, so whether it's worth going in and trying to do that.
That weak arc, yeah.
And for me particularly with just black dice as well. So here we go. He is going to hit his rear and right arcs for 4 damage, which is me. And of course I've got blue and a black. So what can we do? Oh, okay, so 2 get through. 2 get through. So I'm going to pop those on, which means that I've only got 3 boxes left. 3 boxes left. It's going to be very, very, very tough for us now. He's now going to push.
He's going to push you away, so onto one of these 3, your choice.
I'm going to go...
This one would be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go to. Back to where I was before.
Yep. He then turns to face the aggro model.
Yep.
And backs away 1 away from you.
Backs away 1 away from me. Nice. And there we have it. That means that things are going to go back over to Ardstan. Come on, Ardstan. You can do this. You can do this. Weak front arc.
Whew. Right, so recovers his stamina.
Yep.
Moves in for free and spends 1 stamina to make the attack because of flying high.
Yep.
Blue and a black dice.
Blue and a black dice.
Does 2 more damage.
Nice.
Down to 6 health left.
Ooh.
If only the warrior could do some damage. Little brother.
Come on, Yonwolf. Come on, Yonwolf. Well, you are giving him hand-me-downs, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so back over to Gargoyle. So Tail Whip was last. Let's flip over the card on the deck, and it's Halberd Thrust next. Halberd Thrust. So Halberd Thrust is going to push you.
Push me away.
Push you away. He's then going to come after the aggro model, which of course is you.
He's going to be weak on this side. So he walks in.
Yep.
And we go here. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't actually change his facing because it's targeting the aggro model.
Yep.
And he just hits me for 6 damage.
So it hits you for 6 damage.
I have 4 cubes available on my endurance bar. And I take 3.
This is close.
Well, God. I have 2 spaces left, one of which is taken up by a stamina.
Run away.
No, I must just keep going in.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got 6 health left.
You need to do something.
Yonwolf needs to do work. Come on, the young wolf. This is your time to shine. This is your time to shine. You must do it. You must do it. 6 health left. We've got to get rid of him. We've got to get our bars reset here. If we don't do the work,
we die.
We die. We're in trouble.
Probably.
Here we go, Yonwolf. This is it.
So recovered 2 stamina.
Absolutely. Goes in for free.
Spends 1.
Spends 1 to go in there, and then spends another 1.
And another.
To hit.
No, you can't. You shouldn't.
Shouldn't.
You shouldn't, because the next one is going to be the 4 magic attack.
You think I should run away? But the 4 magic attack has got range, hasn't it?
No, it's got range 1.
Okay.
Hits the nearest player. It's not good for either of us. You are actually probably better positioned if you just move into base contact.
Yep.
Don't spend that stamina.
Don't spend the stamina, so don't get the extra dice.
Don't get. Well, just yeah. This is our best. Basically, so my thinking is.
Yep.
We know it's going to turn to face you and do 4 magic damage.
Yep.
You have 1 black dice to resist it, so the best you can roll is a 2.
Yep.
If you spend a stamina to get into the weak spot, spend a stamina to attack because he's flying high, you only have 2 spaces, so even on a perfect roll you die.
Yep.
Which means we either don't attack it, and then if you completely... you need to roll at least 1 to be alive, or you make an attack here where you need to roll a 2 on the dice to be alive, which is like rolling a 5 or a 6.
Yep.
So what do you want to do? Making an attack means you need to roll a 5 or a 6. Not making an attack means you effectively need to roll a 2+ to live.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So making the attack.
So the older brother, I think we've decided Ardstan is calling over. He's saying, "Yo, Wolf, don't overcommit. Don't overcommit."
Are you making the attack?
Gonna make an attack, yeah.
So it costs you 1 stamina, so you'll need to roll effectively a 5 or a 6 on the next dice to keep us in. We good?
Yeah, I've got this. There we go.
Damage.
Another damage. Another damage.
Down to 5.
Okay. So here we go.
Next up.
The card flips and is, of course,
Electric Breath.
Electric Breath.
Oh god, we both get hit by it. Oh, forgot about that.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so it is going to... he stays where he is. He just turns to face the nearest model, which is
you.
Which is me. I'm on the model. He's already on that. But he does have a range of 1. It's going to do 4 magical damage to the front arc, which is both of us.
I'm going to die.
You're going to die.
I'm going to
Well,
die.
let's see this. Let's see this moment.
So you roll first because you can actually try and survive it at least.
Okay.
You get 1 black dice.
Got 1 black dice. Here we go.
Now, so you take 3 damage.
Take 3 damage, which is down to 2. Which is down to 2.
Actually, yes, because you got your
So I stay alive.
Oh, that's good. And I stop 2 damage, but I take 1, fill up my endurance bar.
No, Ardstan!
And I fall. Oh, for all my good advice.
Now, at that point, the boss fight is over.
Boss fight's over. We've lost. We lose a spark from the bonfire, so this goes down to 3.
There we
So
go.
down from 4 to 3. we head back to the bonfire, teleported
Our
there.
wounds.
If we had any souls, they would get dropped on that node where Ardstan died. All the rooms reset. We need to go fight them again to get our souls.
Now in the campaign you can choose to run through, but I think
Dash through. We need souls. We are
need
not
souls.
equipped for this fight.
we're not equipped for this fight. I think that we actually made quite a brave effort.
I think we did pretty decent.
Let's get
Especially
ourselves
with-
back to the bonfire and discuss what we're going to do. Heroes of our quest have failed in the first mini-boss encounter against the Gargoyle. We're going to need your help to decide how we're going to build these guys up going forwards. So here we are back at the bonfire tile after an unsuccessful first run through. We made some great progress there, I felt, in the early rooms. At one point I thought that we were doing the business all too well, and that became clear when we finally took on the Gargoyle.
Yeah.
And Tutor, I think that we probably could have just about taken one Gargoyle. It would have been tough.
Oh yeah.
There were a couple of whiff rolls.
We had some one point. We had 4 attacks that did 0 damage net, and it was just like, oh, we need to do at least one each time.
Yeah, one each time would have taken him down, I believe. He was close, wasn't he?
Yeah, he'd have had 1 left if each of those attacks where nothing happened did 1.
Yep.
And if we had a little spike and did 2, and one of them, we'd have killed him.
Yep, absolutely. So we didn't get many miles away, but I think 2 Gargoyles in a row is definitely a bridge too far in this case.
For sure.
So we think this is a natural point at which to pause our campaign. These campaign videos are going to aim to be around 30 minutes long as standard going forwards.
Yep.
But we will really involve you guys in how we build our characters going forward, not just in terms of their story and what you think these characters should represent in the campaign as going forwards, but also what kind of build that we're going to be looking at with those guys. Let's remind you what equipment we've picked up so far.
Alright, so we've got the Northern Armour, that was the starter gear for the Warrior, so we don't really need to pay too much attention to that one. The big juicy ones are the Claymore, which would require for myself, the Knight, Ardstan, it would be 4 souls into Strength and 4 souls into 6 souls into Dexterity to wield that. We've got the East-West Shield, which is a pretty good shield for magic resistance, but 28 intelligence, a bit high up there. The Sun Princess Ring requires 30 Strength and 25 Faith, which again is tier 3 Faith for me, and 4 more souls into Strength. And I could use Force, but I would be losing some defensive tech to use it, so I'm not a huge fan. So let us know what you think. In our next run through up to the Gargoyle, we will accrue 12 souls. Let us know what you think we should spend them on.
So whilst the Warrior finishes his first run through with a completely starter board, the only thing that's changed is he's got some hand-me-down armour from the Knight. We've of course started to upgrade the Knight, and he's up to tier 1 on his strength and tier 1 on his intelligence. Wow. So near, yet so far.
So very far.
So
a whole
very
Gargoyle far away.
So we were very, very keen not to kind of play the game in an ultra-tactical way and, and grind it out.
You could play through like something that is very possible and written into the game's rules, is that if you just farm sparks, you farm for souls, spend your sparks, obviously you can buy back sparks for a cost of, with 2 of us, 4, and that's 1 encounter, so you can never really die, because you'd always just buy back a spark before you reach your last one. But when you do that, it takes away the tension of a boss fight. Because obviously you can just have unlimited souls. You could literally, before you've even hit the first boss, cycle through the treasure deck, and that's no fun.
Yeah, and Ardstan and Yonwolf are here to entertain you, and we want you to follow them on their journey through our campaign. So although they they rinsed the first 3 encounters. They absolutely smashed it.
We got lucky in that 3rd encounter.
Yeah, we did incredibly well. Sorry, they did incredibly well, and of course their reward for that was taking on 2 Gargoyles back to back. And we do feel like we weren't a million miles away from getting the first one.
Some pretty bad attacks from Yonwolf.
Yeah, there was some poor swings from the young warrior there, but now that gives you guys an opportunity to get involved in this campaign series and let us know how you think we should build our characters going forwards. Make sure you do that by getting involved in the comments below.
Get me a Claymore.
No, get Yonwolf get Yonwolf a big axe or something.
Get me a Claymore, and then we can work on you.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the way to go, but it is down to you. And we also want to hear what you think the stories of these characters should be, because we'll build that in.
What's the background? That's something I was trying to think of throughout the entire series that we just played there, and I couldn't really think of anything that fit the world fantastically well. So someone comment for Ardstan.
Yeah, Ardstan.
What his background is.
Absolutely, and exactly the same for Yonwolf as well. So you'll be joining us next time as we go back through the dungeon, back through those encounters, those 3 encounters. Remember, we're going to be aiming for these videos to be half-an-hour long series, and we may at various points do bonus series. We're going to be building up those souls, and we want you guys to let us know how we're going to spend those before we try and take on the double Gargoyle trouble once again.
Yeah.
We had a great game,
Hope you had a great game.
and we'll see you in our next Dark Souls the board game campaign video here on Hotgates Gaming very soon.